brunch. Yes. Happy brunch, everyone. Happy June. June is busting out all over. Yes, happy June. Yes, this is our first time broadcasting brunch in June. Yes, so I thought I put on a hat. Yes. Now you all know why, right? Because us ladies with our fair skin, us blue bloods, yes, we cannot take the heat. So time to bring out the hats, ladies. If you are, what you see, I've already got little tiny spots. Anyway, happy brunch, you all. Happy brunch. Good to see you. Oh, I like what my hair is doing. Yes, it's starting to get the color I like. Yes. Anyway, how is everyone? Welcome, welcome, welcome. Please take a seat. We have so much to talk about. It's all good news. The good is winning against the bad. Yes? No? Maybe? Sort of? We've got to talk about it. Yes. The good has triumphed. The good has triumphed. All right, let me see here. Gotta yes. Oh, get rid of that. Yes. Yes. Well, I thought I would come on, hang with you all, have a bit of brunch, talk about all the good things that are happening. Looks like Israel and Hamas are going to reach an agreement on the ceasefire. Very nice, very nice. Looks like they probably will then be able to start helping people, which is good. And it looks like Ukraine has started its counteroffensive. So we had given a remote. I want to repeat for people who are in Crimea that you need to be out by June 15th. Should actually be out by now, but because the ground offensive is going to be pretty bad around June 17th, June 18th. And I think they're going to try and take and probably succeed in taking Crimea, which will be a disaster by August for a number of reasons. Because it's a kleptocracy and everything gets stolen and there's no respect and it's me against the world. And it's kind of an interesting thing. It's almost like ragamuffins in Russia. It's every person for himself. It's the serfs that 90% of the country were slaves. They were serfs. They were denied basic rights until the revolution. They still have slavery today in Russia. And so the serfs, the poor people, are the first that were sent to the front line. Now they're taking them as young as 16 with parental permission. And of course, the parents give permission because they're told they're going to get money if their kid dies. And yeah, so Russia isn't doing very well. Russia isn't doing well, yes. I want to make some announcements also for the month, starting with letting everyone know that our book of the month is The Fallen. The Fallen. And it has been written by Audrey Steidl. I just started it. And it looks like it's very well written, and it looks very interesting. And I'm excited to start it. It is a chilling and unforgettable paranormal event while inside a mansion in St. Paul's famous Summit Avenue was the genesis of The Fallen. Creepy things don't happen to people as normal as Audrey Steidl. But then going to drama school in London and living with a family that was close friends with Princess Margaret and Rex Harrison was something she could never have dreamed of either. Yeah, it's totally my type. I love this sort of thing. And I love paranormal London. Have you guys ever gone to any of the ghost walks in London? Ever gone to London? And yeah, they have night ghost walks, which are extremely fun. And you get to go to all the pubs and get spooky stories and drink, and at every pub you stop by, you have another drink. Yeah, but I don't drink, so I just kind of hung out and heard the stories. But anyway, The Fallen is our book. All right. Well, without further ado, I think we've got 127 people here. I think that's enough. We can go ahead and do the Empath's prayer. Any other announcements I have? I don't think so. Be kind to all so that all will be kind to you too. We have some amazing people here. Just give a shout out to Joel Tilson. He is the floor director. Much gratitude. Tell us what you're eating, what you're drinking as you join this large brunch table with us. We extend our brunch table to the four corners of the earth, and we just ask that you be kind to all, just as Mila is kind to me. And then you are welcome. Welcome, Deborah Murphy, Oshun Star. Life is a Mindset, Lorraine. Sue Malik is in the house. Olga Pera. LC, good morning to you. Karen W. Rush. Cartomancy Mesquite, thank you for your help today. Kitty Connell, thank you for a great book. Her book was our last month's, The Bane, Lorcan's Bane. Yes, quite a good, a good yummy morsel. Yes. Mm-hmm. Pam Sykes, spin to say, okay, we're going to keep saying hi to people as we go along. I don't know what you're eating and drinking, but I'm having a nice glass of water and I'm having some Pete's coffee. Mm-hmm. Do you have anything you want to add, Mila? Any thoughts or opinions? Any political views? No. Just going to sit there and be beautiful. Yeah. Okay. She decided to join us, but I know her energy levels. The older she gets, the less of a star she wants to be. She understands what we're doing because she can see the camera. She figured it out a couple years ago. And at first she was fascinated. And now I think she sees it as work. You know, she wants to hang out with me, but she doesn't want to perform. I don't want to do that anymore. I've retired. It's like she's a retired actress, my cat. Yes, I know. Oh, we got some nice food coming in. Raspberry kefir. I love raspberry kefir. Good stuff. Joel is the cook. Barbecue chicken breast. Man, does that sound good. Are you doing a barbecue sauce with that? Roasted veggies and baked potato. Yum, yum. Drinking a veggie juice, unspoken heart. Good for you. Nice. All right. Without further ado, let's do the Empath's prayer. Okay. I want to call on white light protection for myself and this community as we ask permission from Spirit to access the Akashic records. We call on our spirit guides and our good angels to be with us. Please give us the clarity and the wisdom that is needed to empower all of us on our journeys to make the best decisions for ourselves, our families, the planet, the people we love, but also to help those that we may have strife with. And together, collectively, we say, Amen. All right, so remote views and fulfilling remote views. Let's start with the announcement by Biden that we're looking at potentially a ceasefire between Hamas and Israel. So I'm going to go ahead and predict that there will be ceasefire between Hamas and Israel. Hamas will be taken in by a host country, Turkey, Algeria, possibly Tunisia. And that the Arab League will come in and help with the rebuild, which would be like United Arab Emirates and possibly Saudi Arabia. And Oasis 1 will be implemented. Yay, we won. It's always good to win, isn't it? And I don't think there will be war ever again between Gaza and Israel if it's done the way we believe it's going to be done. That we basically predict it will take 1 to 2 generations before it becomes a friendly border. Mm-hmm. And I want you guys to understand that we don't have to agree with every single political view of the people we work with. People were upset. Oh my God, I can't believe that Elon Musk was the person that adopted Oasis One. Human beings are complicated. He and I have nothing in common politically, but he loves his children. He would take a bullet for his children. And he really was affected by seeing children dying in Gaza. So again, he and I are not on the same page in many ways, but we came to an understanding that children should be loved and safe. And this was something that everybody who worked on Oasis One came to an understanding of. And it was never really supposed to be a political thing. I think that was something that it was. I think Netanyahu got the impression that we were ganging up on him because I said, take it to Benny Gantz. But I then turned around and said, well, then you do it. I sent another letter to Netanyahu. And the point is it was never supposed to be a political. It was just that the math points to the fact that this is how we get to peace. And it looks like, that's the other great thing. If you've got an ally that's powerful, that agrees with you, I gave Oasis One to a lot of really important people. And now Biden is involved. And I so much gratitude to that it's moving in the right direction. And so, again, what you guys can predict is that we'll have a ceasefire. Hamas will be dismantled. It'll be removed from power in Gaza. The area will be secured by a combination of Israeli security working with United Arab League nations coming in. Humanitarian aid will start. Egypt is going to have to answer for the fact that they were using U.S. bombs. They were smuggling U.S. bombs into Gaza, and that they were making a profit from the tunnels. And al-Sisi is culpable because his family members were a part of it. So all of that means that Egypt is in trouble. How does Egypt atone for what they've done? Well, for starters, they're in trouble. They're in a lot of trouble. They will have to give up part of Sinai for the oasis. Okay, so you remember when I first told you guys about Oasis One? Do you guys remember when I told you that I had downloaded the information about what was the future of Gaza? And do you remember how a large percentage of people walked out and told me that I had gone insane? And here we are. So here's where we are. You see over here where it says Oasis Sinai on the left. This is the Philadelphia corridor. Security is the Philadelphia corridor. That's where the tunnels were discovered. Here I put security by the ocean because I believe that the boats need to be checked also. Here's Oasis Sinai. That means that they're going to have to give space to people of Gaza. This area over here that I called Oasis, this is the area that's no man's land. This is the land that's not being used by anyone because it's a barrier. It's an ABC zone that protects Israel from the people of Gaza. And so what happens is it's just wasted space. But if you had security on both sides, and IDF working with United Arab League. You could bring people who pass security into these areas and they could be utilized. And then you'd have an additional security point. So this is the rebuild, and this is why we can offer more space in this rebuild. And then if you add also the Sinai area, once the bombs and this area is cleared, you're now looking at look at how much more space the people of Gaza will be given. The other thing is, and again, this is pure math, the anthropological patterns in the future. Israelis will be going in to assist in the rebuild. You can see the pink, right? So they're moving in and it's just a normal life. They don't own the land or anything. It's not their country, but they're just coming in as aid workers. And then you see the blue is Gaza. Then Gaza people, they first go to Oasis. And then which is basically maybe they live there for 5 years. They have, they've gone through high security, whatnot. At that point, if they wanted to, they could get residency, and then they just are Israeli or residents or whatever. They can go either way. And then the orange are the children born or who grew up early in Oasis, either orphans or people that were born in Oasis. And the orange is the next generation, or the generation that comes from the Oasis. And research shows that they're neutral. They're not hostile to Gaza, and they're not hostile to Israel. And this takes 1 to 2 generations. This is the future of Gaza. Prosperity for all, prosperity for all. So we won. So was Bibi unhappy? He's right there, right? Everybody's right. Yeah, tell people what they want to hear, but we go forward in life. So that's the remote view on that. Now let's switch over to Ukraine. As I had mentioned in previous remotes, we had been accessing information on the counteroffensive, and we were able to determine that between the 17th and 18th of June, we would see massive troop movements, possibly even an attack, a major ground offensive on Crimea, or what we call D-Day. So this is why, as a reader, part of what remote viewers do is we're brought in to try and save lives. I would strongly encourage nobody in Crimea to be a hero and to get out now. It's already the 2nd. So I can't leave you better take your cats, your dogs, because there's already errant bombs that are starting to hit Crimea, but it's going to be really bad by the 17th and 18th. At that point, it may be even nearly impossible for you to get out. So why put yourself in that situation? I think they're going to take Crimea. I think it was rope-a-dope, which is what we had talked about. I think that, I'm not a military person. I'm just, like I said, a remote viewer, but I learned a lot about the military by remote viewing the military. And I learned how long it takes to dismantle a government, paying Russian soldiers to sabotage their own army, which is now what's happening. So at the point when Putin was bankrupted, that's the point at which they said, okay, now he's weak enough, we're going to go into Crimea. And that's what's going to happen. And I think that they will succeed. Mm-hmm. Yeah. All right, let's get to some of your questions about the remotes. Yeah, I agree. It's going to be a disaster for Putin. And now he's starting to hit the Zaporizhzhia nuclear power plant, which again is predictable because he said he was going to create a nuclear war. So creating a dirty bomb is one way, right, to create a nuclear war. And so by hitting the Zaporizhzhia, he's basically threatening that. He doesn't really have anything else. And they're wiping out most of his... he does have air capability, but even that's going to be, yeah. Oh, Corfu Island in Greece. I don't think I've been to Corfu, but it sounds beautiful. drinking veggie juice. That's always yummy. Yes. You know what the great thing about being a remote viewer is? I get to disappear. And now we get to call it Biden's peace proposal. Oh my God, what a relief. You know, if anybody knew who I was, if anybody knew any of this, and nobody does except for you folks. First off, nobody would believe it. It'd be a hell of a funny movie, though, wouldn't it? No one's ever going to believe it. That's why I can publish and show you all. No one's ever going to believe this has anything to do with me or this channel. Even though I've shown you everything, no one's ever going to believe that any of this has anything to do with me. And that's why it's so wonderful. Because now I can slip into obscurity and I can enjoy my vacation in Japan. And no one will ever know that this has anything to do with me. Let the men stroke their egos. Let Biden call it his peace agreement. Let Netanyahu call it his rebuild. I don't care. I don't want to have anything to do with any of this. I want to be forgotten in history. I want to just go. Let me tell you something. Fame sucks. When that guy started screaming at me and was going to throw me into traffic because he was a Trump supporter, it happened to me 6 months ago or something. It screwed me up so bad. After that, I was like, fame is not for me. It's really dangerous. It's really dangerous. Yeah, who wants that? It's the joke, right? You guys are just going to sit back and you're going to watch everything manifest, right? And that's the joke. Let's see. Let me show you something. See, I can do this because it doesn't matter. Hi, Mila. I love you too. Oh, she's purring. Did you guys hear her little purr? Oh, she's such a precious. Yes. Oh, I know, boo boo. What is this? Is this? No, this is not. This is my friend, Kay. Oh, sorry. Wrong thing. Okay. Sorry. That was me talking to Kay. Let's try again. I can't see anything. Oh, here it is. Yes. Here is my letter to Benny Gantz, forwarded to Daniel Sirawan, my debate coach. December 19th, 2023, issued from Whimsy Anderson to MAPA at IDF, which is Benny's address. You don't ever complain to him. Number 1, get to ceasefire. Number 2, exchange of hostages and send Hamas to host country. Number 3, adopt Oasis protocol for the rebuild. Putin is going to be arrested, dismantle, he'll be under house arrest. Dismantle Iranian leadership and do not make a deal with Iran and Russia for the Abraham Accord. This is the pure math sent December 19th, 2023. Take a photograph, babies. There's your proof. Does that look like Biden's plan? I'm in a good mood because I won. I won. So when you win, you're in a good mood. I don't know ethically what the consequences are of what I've done. I know that no one will ever believe it, and so we can all slip into obscurity, never to be known, never to be seen, like every other oracle throughout time. And that's why it's so delicious. Because no one's ever gonna know. No one except for you folks, right? That the IDF is following the Oracle of Whimsy? Come on, that's insane. That's impossible. That couldn't possibly happen, could it? That would be crazy. That's what's so great about all of this. Hello, Persephone. Hot damn, you sure did. So that's the power of remote viewing, right? The reason we're showing you all this is to let you understand. Do you see how powerful remote viewing is? Yeah. And they all want to take credit. Isn't that just like a man? Biden, Netanyahu, Elon, have fun. Have fun with all of that. I don't care. I just, for me, it's more like the power of remote viewing is amazing. Yeah, it's so that we can say, wow, remote viewing is really cool. But yeah, I kept thinking this can't really be happening, and I'm the one that was writing it. This can't. They're not doing what I think they're doing. They're not actually listening to me. This can't actually really be happening. And then it happened, and yeah, it was really empowering. Like, yes, yes, don't let anybody tell you you're crazy when you've got the truth. Just plow through. Just keep going. Right? That's, if you know you're right, if you're a visionary, like Elon Musk says, you know, you just have to keep plowing through until eventually people listen to you. Would you guys like to get a collective reading? We did win, Jill. We won. Israel's not going to back away their security just because the Arab League is coming in to help with. That's not what's going to happen, folks, because it's IDF plus. So it's not Abraham's tent is you have to share, but you also have to share the security. It can't be this is the map I sent him. You see, it's IDF plus. The border plus is the Arab League. We still are going to be controlling the security here. This is still going to be Israel controlling the security. And then you've got another security point here when you enter the tent for those people that are eligible to enter the ABC zones. And this is closed. And this road could be underground. That might be the boring project that Elon wants to do. And then you have the Israel side over here. It's so ironic that Elon digs tunnels and the terrorists were digging tunnels. And he came in and said, wow, this sand, it's really great for us to put boring in here. And that's what they're going to do, straight through, like a subway system. So you pop up and you walk into Abraham's tent, which is a oasis of people that are apolitical, that are, peace lovers. And it's a kibbutz. It's like a walking city. Isn't that cool? That's what they're building. No more war. based on pure math. Just based on pure math. Okay, without further ado, let's do the collective. This reading applies to you at the time that you receive it. Your reading for the week. What does Spirit need you to know for the week? We did the Empath's prayer. Where you are at this week and what you have as a challenge. There's conflict here, things that have to get done. It's a bit anxious. Are you procrastinating? Have you been at home like me procrastinating? Look at me. I didn't even want to put a nice shirt on for you. I just said, I want to be comfortable. I put a sweatshirt. What are these things called? I don't know. I did put my makeup on though. The point is this. 5 of Wands is your base card, which is conflict. So if you're like, I have a lot of commitments right now. And so maybe I'm feeling like I'm pulled in a lot of different directions. And your karma is you're going to get through everything. Ace of Swords. If you were me, I would organize. I would organize what you have to do. For example, I'm really behind in do-it-yourself videos. So I just have to catch up and figure out what the heck other people are doing, right? So 5 of Wands is when you're in conflict, but it's also education. So you're in conflict, you need education, you're going to be victorious. Also, just focus on, if you're feeling overwhelmed because you don't know how to do something, ask for help. Understand it's going to take a while, and also put it in priority. Like, what is the biggest priority? Study mode. This is a week of study. Study, 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 study. The High Priestess of Knowledge. Your crossing card is, I see many of you getting new jobs. If you're worried about your financial situation, if you're looking for a new job, it's right around the corner. It's right on top of you. Education, knowledge, and a new job. What is above you is take things slow and steady. Try and be grounded, like the Clydesdale that the Knight of Pentacles rides. We want to be stable. We don't want to have more things than we can afford or more burdens than we can take on. The older we get, the harder it is for us to adjust to change. Recognize that. Let yourself change, but also understand that extreme change can be very difficult. What you're sitting in is a feeling of being chained. Maybe you're being chained by taxes, too many responsibilities. Again, this feeling of like 8 of Swords, too many freaking, I got another thing I need to take care of. I got to go. Just make an account and a reckoning and go through everything one at a time. There's a lot of confusion here. 7 of Cups. I feel like I'm kind of spaced out. Maybe time to look at your adrenals. Maybe start taking some adrenal support. Maybe start focusing on the yang herbs that are going to wake you up a little bit. There's some intense psychic powers over many of you. Many of you are professional psychics and remote viewers. I am just now preparing to give another person. Jiggy Pardo Lord is about to get her teaching certification. We give a congratulations to her. Another teacher has entered the mist. So moon is about psychic phenomenon, but it can also be a feeling of confusion and in our cups. So very important to be grounded right now. They're talking about this energy of being grounded with the Knight of Pentacles for you. And 2 of Swords, be single-minded. Hear no evil, see no evil, speak no evil, cutting people out, cutting situations out. The hopes and the fears is judgment, a feeling that questioning your own judgment, questioning your own, am I on the right path right now? Smoother waters lay ahead for you. As long as you can focus on discipline, taking care of yourself, give yourself a little bit of adrenal support, Fish oil is important for brain health. You should be okay. I see you being very successful as long as you're disciplined over the next 6 months. In fact, Emperor is coming into your immediate environment over the next 6 months, indicating that, you know, Memory Rescue is a good book by Daniel Amen, though I never would give up coffee. But yeah, good, strong mental faculty over the next 6 months. Take care of your brain health, take care of your overall health. And with focus and discipline, you should be very successful over the next 6 months. Yeah. And that is your reading, my dears. Ooh, it is raining hard outside. You know what? Maybe I will go out for a walk. So I kind of like it this way. Do you guys like it when it's kind of blistery to go for a walk? Well, not if I don't want it if it's super rainy. Hi, Yolanda. Thank you for being here. You're just at the right time. If hopefully you got the empath, you got your collective. All right. When I get the order to blitz, blitz, blitz away, we will blitz, blitz, blitz. And the floor director is here to keep me on the straight and narrow. Be sure and turn and say hi to everybody. If you have just joined our brunch, this table extends to the four corners of the earth. We welcome you. We welcome all religions, cultures, creeds, political views. We only ask that you'd be kind to all so that all will be kind to you too. We've just finished just doing a remote view on Israel, Gaza, and the Ukraine. Now we can go ahead and blitz, blitz, blitz away and get to some of your questions, which we had to delay. So let's take a look at what we got here. Let's see. Ukraine offensive will be a disaster for Russia. That is very true. The donations today, thanks Debbie for reminding people, are going to help senior dogs need to be rehomed because, you know, they love us from birth on. And so if you love dogs as much as we do, and you want to be a part of senior rehousing, please think about, if you're having a fun time today, please think about giving a few bucks to our senior paw friends. Much appreciated. Okay, let's keep going here. Yes, there will be peacekeepers for Gaza. This is something, the two things that have to be worked out with the future plan is, number one, how much land is Egypt going to have to give? They're not in a situation now to negotiate after what they've been caught doing. So it's not really, they can't have a temper tantrum at this point. They were using US bombs and they were using Hamas as a proxy army to attack Israel after claiming that they were at peace with Israel. They'd been doing it for years, and they were using U.S. aid to do it. So Egypt is not in a position to they just need to shut their mouth, and we're going to discuss now Oasis in Gaza. I mean, Oasis in Sinai. They've been caught. Now they have to pay. Let's see about peacekeepers. It's all going to be under Israeli surveillance. A new garden is emerging, the Oasis. Rain, right? The look at that. Look at this beautiful imagery of the Oasis, a garden that offers you shade for the trade, right? Shade from the rain. I like this imagery. Good luck will come from this endeavor. And the final outcome for Oasis. Dark clouds lay ahead. A letter. So it could be opposition. Oh, communication. So there's going to be some difficulty of maneuvering because everybody wants a piece of the pie. Everybody wants, well, I want my Oasis nightclub to be by the beach because that's where we designated that the naughty area would be, right? So I can put 5 million into the rebuild, but I want to put my club here. All of that has to be negotiated. The people of Gaza have to be a part of this. So you do have this kind of clouds, and then you have a letter or writ, and then communication opens up. But overall, it looks beautiful because Oasis is ultimately a garden. So there will be kinks along the way, but it will be a successful endeavor. There will be peace in Gaza. Can Biden get the Nobel Peace Prize? Yes, I think that if Elon Musk, and everybody else that's working on this work together, then yes, they will get the Peace Prize. Let's take a look. Will Biden get the Peace Prize if he can pull off the Gaza rebuild? He gets his wish. Psychic or the moon card. His concern, he was really, this whole thing is very upsetting to him. They have to go by the book. The end result is Oasis. I don't know about him winning the Nobel Peace Prize, but the end result is the Oasis. We're going to get what we got. We won. We won. Oh, Anonymous donated $10 to Senior Dogs. Thank you so much. It's very sweet of you. The more we can get to help senior dogs, the better, because it's just so important to love our doggies and not abandon them just because they get it. Well, a lot of people cannot afford a senior dog. And so what happens is that they abandon their dog. I mean, it's not like people want to abandon their senior dogs. A lot of the time they simply can't afford them. All right. So a new ruler in Egypt. Let's take a look. What is the future of Egypt if al-Sisi got caught doing what he did? Egypt's leadership. He's going to have to start arresting people. He's going to have to start scapegoating the ring. He offers the ring. Israel's heartbroken. Hopes and fears, the bouquet, which is the offer, and then snake. He's gotten swallowed up. He got swallowed up by what they were doing, by turning a blind eye, by he may have to leave because his hands are dirty. You can see here the snake and the skith. So yes, al-Sisi may have to leave because he was corrupted. He was compromised. You would think that al-Sisi would be the one we could trust, but even because he was the one that was supposed to bring down the Islamic Brotherhood and everything else, but it was a proxy army for Egypt. They were never at peace with Israel. Ella S. wants to know if we can get information on how many hostages are still alive or if they're still alive. What is the fate of the hostages? We requested specifically 33, so I think that we know that only 33 are alive. Is that right? Am I imagining that? Remaining hostages, but then I heard an actual number was like 30 something. Bodies are going to be returned. I know that. You can see communication. This is a cross, could be a body, the sun, the moon. Let's see. Something about getting bodies. If a one male that's going to be, they're going to get some guy back. This is one of the male is coming back. There's something about an economic expose about economic corruption that's going to come out. A huge expose financial that shows that people in the Israeli military may have been compromised. There's some kind of an economic expose on the IDF that's going to be coming out, which is a shame. Yeah, I don't know how many, but I know that some will come out. And the tower is coming in, which, it's almost like something happens that is going to be exposed. Yeah. Oh, Oglio Pop Ginger Limp. Yeah, I used to have those. They're similar to sambucas. I mean, similar to kombuchas. So the jury is already being targeted in the Trump case. Is anybody surprised by that? Linda Kingsley said that she's been taking on senior dogs for years. Good for you. Yeah, exactly, Joel. Because did I tell you what the computer? Elon has a computer with a sense of humor that's built on his personality called Grok. And he tells Grok how to pick up chicks, and it's just really funny. So one day I asked Grok to tell me what should be based on the pure math that I presented you, Grok, what's the best future of Gaza? And Grok said, it needs to be like Disneyland, only better. You got to put the boring in there so that people can ride the loopy loop. You got to have it be a beautiful, wonderful place, celebrating life, celebrating children, a magical destination where anything is possible and where people really get to see, Bedouin hospitality, the oasis, and everything that human beings can be and achieve. And I thought, okay, I'll send that to so I sent it. I sent it all. So I have no doubt that, because it's based on pure math, that is precisely what they're going to do. They're going to create children's rides and a safe place for children. And then think about it. It will be a tourist destination. People from around the world will come to ride the loopy-loop and enjoy the vacation and fly kites and eat delicious, amazing, yummy food, because it is the food over there is incredible. That's the future of Gaza. That's what we have to envision for the people of Gaza, right? And a friendly border, none of this fighting back and forth and future trade. And, we have to envision that. Marchan's sentence on Trump. Let's take a look. Will he be merciful to Trump? Marchan's sentence. One Marchan sentence to Trump. The Ring. He's in trouble. His behavior was so bad and so crazy that a psychiatric evaluation, I believe that Juan Marchan is going to treat him like a mentally insane prisoner. And I think that he will die in prison. Trump will die in prison. I don't know if it's going to be this time, but you have this sentencing. The writer comes and then cracks the whip. So that's not a good omen. It means that it's very a harsh sentence. Then the clouds of darkness over Trump, and then the coffin. So he's given a pretty harsh sentence. Look at it. I also think he's sent for a psych eval. I think that Juan Marchan sees it truly like just another guy, and his behavior is so bizarro. Whereas I want a complete psych eval. Completely, maze. It's interesting. I was looking at this and I saw Trump buried under a tree. It was interesting after the coffin, the confusion, and then he will lie in state under a tree, like he will be buried under a tree. I believe he's mentally insane, and the courts have control over him, and the courts understand that they have control over someone who is mentally insane, and they will treat him accordingly. Yeah. Jared wanted to make a deal to build. They wouldn't be able to do that because they would have to buy directly from the landowner. So that would be a fake story. You can't just go in and say, I want that. You'd have to talk to whoever the business people are in Gaza that own the property. It's still owned property. You can negotiate with them, you can pay them, but you can't just go in and take people's hotel and say, well, I'm in it. No, no, this is owned land with business people, etc. You would, at very least, you would have to try and make some kind of business deal, but even that would be questionable. Okay, how scared is Iran? This is an interesting conversation. Let's talk about it. Do you think that Raisi was that Ibrahim Raisi was in a helicopter crash, and it was just an accident because it was an older helicopter and it had nothing to do with an assassination attempt? What do you think happened to Raisi? And why take Raisi out? Who would have taken Raisi out, and why would they have taken Raisi out? He was next in line after Al-Hamini, right? Al-Hamini's 85 years old. So the butcher of Tehran was half an inch from potentially being the most powerful person in Iran. That scares people, right? Who does it scare? It scares moderates, right? So moderates inside administration, moderates inside the government, trying to weed out the crazies one by one by choreographing crashes, etc., poisoning drivers. It's one way to choreograph a crash, right? Let's take a look. What is going on with Iran? Civil war. the skith, right? They're really cracking down on the rebellion. Bouquet. Heartbreak. Good stars. You know, I don't know what the astrology is like for the best time for the revolution, but, you know, if you look at the revolution, for example, that's happening in Russia, it was people doing it on their own. They weren't even telling people what they were up to because they were so afraid of going to war that they were willing to do anything to sabotage. And a lot of Russians are doing that. Same thing is happening in Iran. You've got this movement of sabotaging from within. You know, it's interesting when you look at agencies like the CIA, they work very closely with organizations that are trying to dismantle Iran. This slow, steady work of dismantling the extremist. The skith and the anchor are interesting because it's also the power symbol. So it leads me to feel that this revolution cannot be stopped. It can't be stopped. You know, like the revolution has good luck and a bouquet, which means that every generation is more moderate than the next. You know, the garden, right? I think there's going to be an administrative change. I think it's slow and steady. I think one by one they're picking off their crazies. And I think that it's going to be very hard for Iran to continue to survive with sanctions and everything else. I'm just curious about the sanctions. How are they doing financially? He's switching cards up. Heartbreak over their sanctions. This is Iran with sanctions. Judgment against them. Hopes and fears their legacy. And then the final outcome, death. They're going to collapse. You know, they don't want to give any more handouts to Russia. And the same is true for China. They're already in their own economic hell. No, we're not going to give you any more help. There's an almost animosity about it. Fix your own damn problem. You know, first it was Turkey breaking away, then China broke away, and now finally Iran is saying, we can't help you. We can barely help ourselves. You know, it's the War King heartbreak. Look at this, death, and then Deborah. Israel is not going to allow Iran to function after October 7th and what they did with Hezbollah. It's a genocidal government that will not tolerate anybody other than their own extremist brand of Islam. I mean, Lebanon was supposed to be a safe zone for Christians, and then they invaded. So they're not just going after Jews, they're also going after the Christians of Lebanon and Egypt, killing them, lighting them. They prevented them from getting out of the church and lit them on fire, killing 40, 50 Coptic Christians. And this is common types of attacks. That's genocide. You're not allowed to be anything but a Muslim. And then in comes Hezbollah because they just want to be Christians. And you can't be, so a lot of Lebanese left Lebanon because they weren't allowed to be Christians in Lebanon. And now they're taking over Bethlehem, and now the Christians are having to flee Bethlehem. Will the embassy be moved back to Tel Aviv? I believe in live and let live, tolerance. Will the embassy be moved back to Tel Aviv? That is a good question. There's Israel. Israel. The experts. Hopes and fears the home. Four of Cups, likely no. Because there's a Four of Cups. We're not going to move again. It creates a load of problems. It creates a load of problems. By doing this, they created a load of problems for themselves. Four of Cups, typical of Trump, he creates a problem, a political statement that now that we have security issues, it's created more tension between, he just did a bunch of stupid stuff and then pulled U.S. troops out and so everybody was angry and pissed at him and pissed at America, but there was nobody there to protect Israel. So it's been a bloodbath. He gave everybody the finger and then packed up and left and took U.S. troops with him. What did he think was going to happen? And people are so close to the situation that there are Israelis that are still saying Netanyahu and Trump. Did you not see the bloodbath they created with their stupid policies? Pissing people off and then abandoning us to these nut jobs? So I don't know what the heck is going on with this delusion over in Israel where they think that this freak cares about us more than Putin, who was one of the people that engineered the attacks against us. It's like some kind of collective hypnosis or something. Carol Glick, she's lost her down. She's so out of touch with reality. She's like, I think she smokes that, Galilee ganja or something. I don't know. I tried to explain Oasis 1 to her, and she said that that she accused me of being part of a Biden American plot. They're calling Oasis 1 a Biden American plot. Okay, so you can't reason with crazy. I'm sorry, Carol, but you're crazy. You're crazy. If you think Putin and Trump are going to, Putin, who's hanging out with Hamas, and his compromised buddy Trump are going to be better for our safety after they pulled U.S. troops out, tell that to the people who will want to go home that are living in the North. Give me a break. Oh, what's the next question here? Whimsy, do you think Meghan's American Orchard, an upcoming movie, being a success? Oh, I didn't know she was making a movie. Good for her. Everything she does is a success. She's making money off of the Windsor brand, and we're pissed at her for that. Well, then then go ahead and take our titles away. It won't change anything. Like, did it make Princess Diana less famous? No, and it won't make Meghan less famous. She'll be just as wildly famous, and she's still a princess because she's a princess of the Igbo. So you can't take it. There's nothing she was the one paying off her husband's bills. Oh my God, they hate her because she's so wildly independent. Meghan's future career stuff. Wildly successful. 7 of Wands. She's shoring up her defenses. Her opposition is not as successful. 2 of Pentacles back and forth. 10 of a heavy load. She gets her wish. Yes. Wildly successful, much to the chagrin of her former, well, I guess he's still her in-law. They're going to try, look at this, the devil is over her. Yes, they're going to still try and make trouble. The more successful she becomes, the more threatened they become. But that's okay. She's going after them. She's going after William, and William's going to be sued for the crap he's pulled. Okay. Trump's parole officer. Would love to know about Trump's new parole officer and the vibe. Oh, let's take a look. Well, the drugs are the main conversation. He has to hand everything over, including his prescriptions as a senior, and they have to go through every prescription. And then he needs to be asked humiliating questions about each prescription and why he was given that prescription. And some of it is questionable, specifically the amphetamines and the Ambien. So you can't bullshit a parole officer. They know an addict when they see one, and they know a senior who's got a prescription drug problem. So the main problem here I'm seeing, Rush, is we need to see all of your prescriptions. Parole officer is there to keep you on the straight and narrow. You need to tell me every drug you're doing. You can't BS your parole officer. I feel like this is my main conflict that I'm having with this person. And, well, we drug test. Mandatory pee in a bottle. You know, he's going to be, sun is coming out over him. So no different than any other parolee. It's drug testing, checking for drugs, trying to find what he's taking, explaining why his doctor prescribed that particular drug, taking the weapons away. He is not a free citizen anymore, and that means that he is not allowed to do whatever he likes. Also, he can't control his money anymore. I'm finding out information here that they're taking control over his money. So he's not free to spend his money any way he likes now that he's a convict. He will not have access to all of his resources. The court will appoint somebody to oversee that stuff, so it's probably going to be Eric. Yeah. A psychiatric evaluation is going to show that he's mentally confused. Cognitive tests are going to show that he's mentally ill. Confused, 7 of Cups. The conclusion of the test is that he's a senior with a serious prescription drug addiction, and his mental health is extremely poor. That's the results of when they evaluate this convict. Mental confusion, 7 of Cups, Archangel Raphael, his health issue. Also, 7 of Cups is to be in your cups and could potentially indicate an addiction. The court's coming in and taking the weapons away. See, so no, he will not be the president. Control over his money. Is anybody surprised? I didn't know this stuff. I mean, like, I guess that makes sense that you wouldn't. So you don't have access to your own bank account if you're a convict? You have to relinquish your money too, your control over. Wow. I didn't even know that. So he can't just go to his bank account anymore. They must be monitoring how he spends his money. They must be monitoring illegal activities with his. He's not going to be free to use his money. He's not going to be free to do a lot of stuff, according to those cards. Wow, Rose has been walking 3 to 5 a.m. I've been waking. Yeah, good for you. That's the proper time to wake up, and you can do your satsang, your meditations. Make yourself a little tea or something. Then you can go back to sleep and have another nap. Yeah. Will Trump still debate Trump? Oh, you mean will Biden still debate Trump? I don't think so. He's not doing too good. You know, this guy is not doing too good. A new beginning. 10 of Cups. The Sun. It's a new beginning in America. Biden wins, and he's opening up. This is Social Security and aid. Biden's going to correct a lot of the economic problems that are happening right now. I hope he raises Social Security again, because it looks like he's going to. Something about arresting thieves. Look at this. What was the question? Oh. No, I don't think they're going to be able to. A thief got arrested. Yeah. Look, Biden, 6 of Pentacles is the final outcome. Biden's going to win. I'll tell you, it's impossible to beat Biden. He's going to broker peace in Gaza. He's going to implement Oasis 1. Hamas said it was a great deal. They're going to all get to go live in Algeria. They got a head start, right? They can all move to Algeria. We'll get to them eventually, right? But they need to go now. It's got a beautiful climate. It's got the Mediterranean. It's got the olive trees. They're going to love it. All right. Did you guys have a good time? Yeah? Yes, Nikki Haley is the nominee. That's true. Nikki Haley is going to replace him, which is why she kissed his little ring and all that other stuff. Is because, I think we all know where this is headed. We have raised $730 for senior dogs. Thank you, everyone who is donating. We definitely appreciate it. Algeria is supposed to be stunningly beautiful. Really? Oh my God, the architecture. Don't you think it would be fascinating to go to the old cities and see all of that? Yeah. Well, I really want to get out and get that clean air. Yeah. Anybody else here in Portland? Do you guys think it's too cold for me to? I'm going to go out and walk. I got to get out and start moving, moving. All right, my loves, you guys are the best. Be kind to all so that all will be kind to you too. And I'll see you guys next time. All right. Bye, everyone. Love you guys. If you're trying to get in for a reading, check my information below. I do phone readings. I would love to hang out with you guys. You can hang out in my kitchen and we can have a phone reading. That would be awesome. Also, if you need to see me as your physician, I can do that too. I am a naturopathic doctor and I make the herbs and I do all that fun stuff and ship it to you. So if you need to see a naturopathic doctor, I am affordable and it does come with your herbal medicine treatment. Through telemedicine Zoom, I meet you. That information is also below. Be kind to all so that all will be kind to you too. God bless. Peace out. We'll see you next time. Bye.